of Melanated Gentlemen podcast. My name is Spencer, and I'm one of your hosts on this podcast. And today I'm joined by the other two members of the League of Melanated Gentlemen who have come here to give you a Black History bracket.
Yes, sir. This is Brandon.
And of course, I am Jordan.
Now, before we get to the bracket, we must first tell you about all the places where you can find us, reach us, contact us, and deliberate. And that is information that Jordan is going to give to you right now.
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. That is all the places that we're at on social media. You can find us at the League of Melanated Gentlemen podcast. Come through, come talk to us for a little bit. And then of course we have schedule updates. Sorry, also people rate and review us on any of the streaming services you use. Subscribe to
Mhm.
YouTube. Let's get our numbers up. YouTube numbers are steadily growing, but we want to see everything else grow as well. Mondays is when this episode is dropped. Hopefully you check this out on a Monday, but if not, there's other days you can listen to us. But on Tuesdays, bi-weekly, we have LMG presents Marvel Multiverse RPG. That is a Marvel role-playing game that we play here on the channel, and it is the episode finale of, the Cataclysm of Kang and the New York State of Mind, that kind of storyline that we've been in. So be sure and check that out. We also have DC, not DC, I'm sorry. That is coming, but not yet. On Wednesdays, we have Wrestling with Worldwide Willis. That is Brandon's wrestling podcast where he is talking about all the things that's going on in the world of wrestling. Then we have DC Animation with Spencer and Friends. Spencer, what movie we got?
We have finally reached the Tomorrowverse. So, this week we will be reviewing Superman, Man of Tomorrow.
There you have it.
All right. And so, in honor of Black History Month, even though every month is Black History Month when, you live the way we do, but
hmm
that's fine.
hmm
Uh, we here at the League of Melanated Gentlemen create Black history.
There you go.
So, but anyway, we are going to give you a bracket. Now, of course, we love a little bit of controversy here, and the bracket that we have for you today is a 16-person bracket of comedians. All of them are Black comedians. And we kind of discussed who should be on this list because, as we know, there are so many good Black comedians. But we decided to go with a 16 that we have been alive for.
hmm
So, if you're looking for like that we have experienced in our time here. So, if you're looking for a Richard Pryor, if you're looking for a Red Fox, that's, we know them, we love them, we respect them, but we weren't there for them. So, this 16 is going to be people that we experienced in real time, at least to an extent.
hmm
So, of course, some of these people may have been active before our time, but we saw them in our lifetime do some stuff. Now, the criteria was that each of the people on the board had to have, at least a stand-up special, but we are going to be running this bracket based on their body of work. So it may be somebody who today doesn't really do stand-up that often. Like it's going to be like younger people may not even know that this person is or was a stand-up comedian,
hmm
but we have seen them do at least one stand-up. We know that they have at least one stand up. And again, we will be doing this bracket based on their body of work. So it won't only be based on their stand up. It will be based on any movies they've been in, any TV shows that they've been in, any, movies that they've written, uh, you know, all the things. So the people in the bracket have been randomized. So the matchups are completely random.
mm
We don't know who's going up against who until it's time. So before we get started, anything that I missed or anything we need to, cover or talk about?
I don't think
No,
so.
I would say I'm sure we missed some comedians in here, and people can be like, "Oh, why this person make it?" Look, if you guys really like it, we could do it again. But we went with the ones we felt that, deserved to go first.
Agreed.
There,
Agreed.
yeah, there are enough black comedians where, yeah, we could run this again.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and get started. For the first matchup, we have Patrice O'Neal up against Steve Harvey.
Ooh.
Jordan, I'll
Eesh.
start with you. What do you think on this matchup?
Yeah, hang on, give me a sec. 'Cause I got to pull. I mean, of course, I know what stuff Steve's been in, but I had to pull kind of a list that Patrice has been in. Uh,
When I
to
think
me,
of Patrice O'Neal, I think of his stand-up more than anything else.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say I only know his stand up, so that's why I wanted to see like, was he in anything else,
Mhm.
and like movie wise. And I mean, he's of course he's been in like different movies and stuff, but nothing where he was like the go-to guy in my opinion. Now I will say Patrice O'Neal is probably my weakest one on the list as far as like my knowledge of him. Only stand-up I've ever seen was Elephant in the Room, and that I don't know if he has any other ones that was kind of major like that. Um, Rest in peace, first of all, definitely a funny guy.
Mhm.
But in my opinion, Steve Harvey, just his complete body of work, he has more. This was kind of an easy matchup. Steve has better stand-ups out there. Of course, he has the shows, the Steve Harvey show. I mean, I'm not gonna count Family Feud, but I mean, he has his funny moments in Family Feud as well. But I mean, I'm going Steve Harvey just because he has literally just more out there.
Okay. I mean, Patrice is dead, so that's hard to do
Yeah,
with the more out there, but that's what happens.
Yeah.
yeah,
Brandon.
This one's tough because you kind of have to. Yes, Patrice doesn't have all the other stuff. He didn't cross over in that realm.
yeah.
However, stand up wise, it's not close, really, to me.
It's not
And
close.
yeah, Patrice is elite, like the best of the. Patrice O'Neal is your favorite comedian's favorite comedian. Like Patrice, Bill Burr talks about him all the time. Joe Rogan talks about him all the time. Chappelle talks about him all the time. Like they all like worship Patrice O'Neal. Like Bert Kreischer, all of them. So I just think his stand up is so elite to where he can kind of make up for Steve's versatility. But I do love a comedian that's versatile. Like I love a comedian. That's the one thing I really miss about like the '90s. Like if you was a big time comedian, you was ready for that sitcom. Like you was ready to get that call.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a
Hmm.
sitcom for you. You like, all right, bet. I'm gonna go make
Yep, let's
Seinfeld.
go.
I'm gonna go make Martin. I'm gonna go make all this stuff. So I missed that time. But in this case, I'm gonna have to go with Patrice.
Okay. Okay. So I have to break a tie.
Yeah.
Um, Now, what I will say about Patrice O'Neal is that Patrice O'Neal is much funnier than Steve Harvey.
Hmm.
Um, Patrice O'Neal's hilarious,
Yeah.
but Steve Harvey has a pretty good resume. I do
Yeah.
count Family Feud for Steve because that's some of his best work, honestly.
Hmm.
Like, honestly, yeah, Steve Harvey on Family Feud, like that might be his best thing that I've seen because he has some stand-up specials. I did enjoy the Steve Harvey show. There's the Steve Harvey show where he was like Oprah and like that. There's that the Steve Harvey show.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Steve Harvey got all the jobs, but in my opinion, like Family Feud is his best one. Like when he started hosting Family Feud, I was like, nah, I feel about that. But then I saw it and I was like, yeah, this was the right choice.
Yeah,
Hmm.
he's definitely the best host for that ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, period. Steve Harvey is perfect for Family Feud.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
But again, Patrice O'Neal is way funnier than Steve Harvey is.
Yeah.
And the reason that at this point I'm gonna have to unfortunately go with Steve Harvey here is
Ooh.
because if I think about which one would I rather be without, I don't think I want to be
Damn.
without Steve Harvey if I got to pick one.
Be without is crazy.
And
It's
yeah, especially since that
dead.
man is dead.
It's
Yeah,
Nope, sounds got me. Um,
tough.
because yeah, Steve Harvey has given us a lot of things,
Yes.
and so yeah, I I'm going with Steve Harvey, but for the record, Patrice O'Neal is funnier than Steve Harvey. There's
I,
no yeah, it's
what?
I don't know if Patrice O'Neal has like named stand-up specials or if he just has been doing, like 30-minute circuits here and there. Because I have seen multiple Patrice O'Neal stand-ups, but I don't know if all of them were like his special. Like, you know how they did like the Def Comedy Jam and they'd have like four different people on that? Like,
Yeah.
Patrice may have been doing stuff like that because I've seen Elephant in the Room, but I also can't think of a named special from Patrice, but I have seen multiple stand-ups from Patrice.
yeah,
But I
I think
can't
that's the case.
I can't name any of them. So he may have done a lot of like Comedy Central half hour or he may have been a part of showcases, but yeah, regardless, I can say confidently every different thing that I have seen Patrice O'Neal do, I have laughed at least once, and that is not the case for every comedian.
Yeah.
What type of comedy do you like? Because for me, I think I like dark comedy. Like I like you say the most messed up stuff. That's stuff that be having me laughing. What type of comedy do y'all like?
That's a good question. You know me, I usually appreciate a little lighter because I think that's a little more easier, not easier to do, but that it's harder to do it in a good way. Like to get people to care about not as raunchy of a joke. That's hard to do. That's why most comedians don't go that route. Uh, but I love a smart joke, like a joke that's like really smart. That's why I like Patrice because Patrice was smart. He went dark too. Like Patrice should go very dark sometimes. Um, but all his jokes were pretty smart. Like, all his jokes were usually like you think he's going one way, and then boom, hits you with the other way that's really dark that you didn't think the route he was gonna go. So yeah, but I usually like darker, not just straight up like I don't like sex jokes. Like those are kind of lame
Oh
to me.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like those are kind of like that's never mind. I was gonna say something crazy,
Well,
but
you might have been
Oh,
saying the same thing I was
I was
about to
gonna say,
say.
it sounds like you don't like dick sucking jokes, but you like dead baby jokes.
not that dead
I
baby
mean,
joke.
that was crazy. I wasn't even gonna
That's
say
what it
that.
sounds like.
No,
Well,
yeah, go ahead, Jordan.
I might get, people might
Nope,
hate me.
we're here.
Well,
We're
yeah,
here.
but I
Let's talk
feel
about it.
like a lot of female comedians, just like a lot of female rappers, which it might be a double standard, but I'm just gonna throw it out there, is they always do the sex jokes, and sometimes it's just, and it could be because I'm the opposite gender, but it just don't be funny sometimes.
I I agree in the sometimes they spam it a little too much. Now there are some out here like Taylor Tomlinson. She's really good because she'll touch on the sex joke, but most of her comedy is about other stuff.
And that's the Taylor Tomlinson is somebody you would look at and assume that that's what she's
Yeah,
gonna do,
yeah,
and she doesn't at all.
right.
And she's hilarious.
Hilarious because she'll just talk about life, but she
And that's
doesn't like you know.
to answer your question, Jordan. I think I really like observational humor.
Yeah,
Like I like when people just point out shit that happens in real life and
yeah,
they
I like
make a
that too.
really witty or excellent comparison.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like those, I like a little bit of everything. Physical comedy can be funny, impressions can be funny, storytellers can be funny. Like there are a lot of
Yeah, I'm not a big on impressions. I do
like
like a storyteller though.
there are some people
Yeah,
who tell like actual jokes, like set up punchline. So like there's some of every like Anthony Jeselnik, like he
Oh,
tells jokes,
he tells the darkest jokes I've ever
the
heard,
darkest jokes ever.
and it's
And yeah, and his delivery is so dry.
so dry. Like he'll tell a dead baby joke
Yeah,
and
like
won't think twice about it.
Jimmy
Yeah,
Carr will tell just the worst joke ever. And the shit's funny.
yeah,
There are
yeah.
some people there's angry comedy. Lewis Black does angry comedy. Bill Burr does angry comedy.
I love Bill Burr. Yeah,
Yeah. Um But yeah, like I like some of everything. I would agree that like I don't think I think I enjoy Super Raunchy the least.
Yeah,
So like there are sections of Ali Wong's comedy that I'm like, I don't need this.
yeah. Yeah.
Amy Schumer is not funny to me.
Oh no. I think what did it to me was back in Comic View, like they would have a female on in that. Well, and really, a lot of dudes talked about it too, but it was just sex, 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 sex.
I
I was just
know.
like, I can't. It's not funny. Like, there's only so much stuff we can go.
Yep.
Yeah,
And that's the thing, like
that's
you can sprinkle it in,
yeah,
but if you spend too much time on it, then yeah, like I'm like,
yeah. It's not smart to me. Which yeah, but
But there are some people like there are some people who do that very well though.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
that is hard to do well.
it is.
And
Okay.
it feels lowbrow, if you will.
Agreed.
But yeah, great question. Um, all right. So Steve Harvey moves on to the next round. Uh, for the next matchup, we have Dave Chappelle against Jamie Foxx.
Ooh.
Oh, this
That's
is
a tough
randomized.
first round. Yeah, that's the thing. It was randomized, and that's a tough
Oh,
first round matchup.
I mean, honestly, I mean, I know it is very tough, but I mean, I know who I'm going with.
I know who you're going with,
It
Jamie.
just depends on like how much time I want to spend.
But Brandon, we're gonna start with you.
oh God. Oh, this is another versatility versus elite.
Yep.
Um. Okay. All right. To make my decision, I believe I have to go with: were you ever the best at your craft, at your thing while you did it? Right. So, was Jamie Foxx the best actor in the world? I don't think so. Now, I think he was up there. He's a very amazing actor. But was he the best actor on the planet? I don't think so. Was he the best R&B singer on the planet? No. Was he the best stand-up comedian? No. I actually think that's probably his weakest. However, his comedy specials are good, but I think it's good due to a lot of different things, not
Yeah.
necessarily jokes. Like,
Yeah, that's the thing. Good and funny aren't always the same.
yeah, exactly. And
Like,
the cheat code is the singing. Like
yeah,
that's a cheat code.
because yeah, like
Uh,
the piano play. Yeah,
yeah, like yeah,
I like what you said, Brandon. Like I would agree. I think his comedy is the weakest
yeah.
out of all three of
his
those.
weakest talent.
His
Yes.
weakest talent of all three, which is a
No,
crazy because he
yeah,
has like five
and
specials that are great.
and for the record, Jamie Foxx is one of those like he's one of the few people who can do everything,
Absolutely, absolutely.
everything.
And
And did he have the best sitcom? No.
no, he didn't. His sitcom wasn't that good, even though I think it's better than
Dude,
Wayans Brothers.
I could say that. I would say that. I used to love James Fox. I used to love Fancy.
Here I
Fancy was like my
go, here
crush
I
when I
go,
was so young.
here I go.
And that's the thing, like his show was pretty good, but there's some other people on this list whose
Yeah.
shows like I'd rather watch the Steve Harvey show than the Jamie Foxx show. But that's just me.
I don't agree
That's
with
just
that.
me. That's just me.
I don't agree with that one.
That might need to go in the Facebook group. That's tough.
That's just me.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
I'm not
tough
that's
one.
that is not to speak negatively on the Jamie Foxx show for the record.
No, I do think Steve Harvey show is heavily underrated when we talk about sitcoms. Like Stevie Harvey show was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tasha Mack in there. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
She was
yeah,
looking right.
yeah.
Glorilla's mama was in there cooking.
Yeah, man. Okay, but I do think for a numerous amount of time, for a number of years, Chappelle is, and potentially still today, the best stand-up comedian on the planet. Um, so I have to give the nod to Chappelle because, and I'm not even counting the Chappelle show. He jumped into
That's
sketch
that.
comedy, which is an extremely hard thing to do. Sketch
It is.
comedy is extremely hard to pull off, and to
Yeah.
be funny, that is extreme, and to be universally funny, like not like SNL funny where it's like ha 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 type of situation. No, this was like had people dying, had people buying the DVDs type of situation. Like, yeah, I gotta go Chappelle.
Because that's the thing. Sketch comedy is very hit and miss.
Yes.
With Dave Chappelle, it wasn't.
Mm-mm.
Bro, I literally remember when Dave Chappelle show came out. I was in, I'm pretty sure sixth grade, bro. We literally come to school talking about it. Like, bro, it was literally the biggest thing
It
for us
was.
watching it. I literally could repeat every single episode to you, every line. It was something I watched all the time.
It took over pop culture, like
I
for
still got the
real.
DVDs. I went to a thrift store. I saw the DVDs in there, the complete set, and I was like, oh, I'm buying this.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
buying this. So I still got it.
Yeah. Uh,
And even with
I
him featured in movies, he was still funny in those movies. They
yeah,
might have been dumb, the dumb comedy, but I
yeah,
thought he was still funny.
and that's the thing. Like I'm not even factoring Dave Chappelle's movies in my equation. Like
Yeah.
it's irrelevant.
yeah,
But if we look at like his body of work as far as his stand-ups and the Chappelle show, I'm gonna have to give that to Dave Chappelle. Now, again, I love Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx would have beat Steve Harvey for
I
me.
agree.
yeah,
I
yeah.
would have said the same
Jamie
thing
Foxx
too.
would make it a lot of matchups. He would be all right.
But that's the thing. Yeah, this was a hard round one matchup for Jamie
Yeah,
Foxx. There are going to be a lot of people that we say Jamie Foxx would have beat them both.
yeah, yeah,
Now,
100%.
I can't remember. Did we talk about on air the most recent Jamie Foxx one?
We did, I think so.
Okay,
I think so. I
I
want
can
to
remember we
say
talked
one
about
of
it.
y'all brought it up. I hadn't seen it.
Yeah, I think we talked about it when we reviewed the year,
Okay.
Yeah,
and
Yeah, it
yeah, like
was. I thought it was
my
pretty good for what it was.
yeah,
my response was it was good, but it wasn't very funny,
yeah,
Yes.
but it was good.
yeah,
Now I
And
will.
again,
Oh,
those are different things a lot of times when it comes to a stand-up because sometimes it can be really good but not funny at all. Because Dave Chappelle has some of those sprinkled in, like some where like he was just up there, holding court,
yeah,
but he wasn't doing comedy really. But when he does comedy, I mean, the man is elite. Brandon,
yeah.
I do have a question for you.
Okay,
Um, what are your thoughts on Jay-Z? I have a reason for asking this question.
okay. I am a fan. I was a late bloomer to Jay Z. I was not a fan in the early '90s. The Black Album kind of awoke in me as far as okay, I rock with this dude. And then I remember that next, the Blueprint 3, Fire. I remember American Gangster was banger. And then Watch the Throne was like elite work. So I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
Okay, and I asked that question because you said with Jamie Foxx, here's his body of work, but at no point was he the guy on top.
Hmm.
A lot of people would make that same argument for Jay-Z.
Ooh, I don't know. A lot of people thought Jay Z was the guy for the
yeah.
longest time.
I
Well,
thought
no,
Jay Z was a guy on top.
well, that's what I'm
Really?
saying. Like, if you look at each year that Jay-Z put something out, there was somebody ahead of him or above him, or that somebody was looking at as number one at the time.
Mm,
If you go through every single year, then you'll see like different periods where Jay-Z was not the top guy. And yet he is often regarded as the GOAT. And so that is why I'm asking the question.
gotcha, gotcha, gotcha.
Because Jamie Foxx may not have ever been the top guy, but very few people can do everything that Jamie Foxx can do.
Right.
And I would say like it could be the same could be said for Jay-Z. At no point was he the guy on top, but his entire body of work is excellent.
I agree with that. I think there is some years he was the guy, especially early 2000s.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking earlier. It
But
was
I do
in between
think,
him and Nas.
yeah, and I think
See, that's the
it,
thing. Early 2000s, it was more like that was kind of Eminem's time on top.
See,
And there was a lot of
I,
party
st-
records that were like Nelly Ludacris, like people had them
I
up
still
higher
think
in the early
I still think
2000s.
Jay Z. I think still Jay Z
And
was
then
I,
probably the top
yeah,
guy.
I
50 Cent came in and then Lil Wayne came in. And so I don't know if there was a year where Jay-Z was number one.
I think he was just because most rappers who popped off like big time, they was like, all right, can he go against Hove? Like the whole time when Lil Wayne was going, they was like, all right, is he gonna go at Hove though? Like, is he gonna go to Hove? You know what I mean? And then he eventually did, but Like, they measured everybody against Hove,
Yeah.
which they did the same thing with Eminem. They were on the same record together. But I agree, like 50 Cent got a little shaky there when 50 came. You know what I'm saying? It was
Yeah,
a
like that's the
few. Yeah, it's always somebody right there, though. I agree.
yeah, like and that's just again, if you look at each like pocket of time,
Yeah,
then I don't know if anybody would say, okay, that year Jay-Z was the guy. Because again, between all of the people that I named, and then you throw in like Kanye and his era, um, you throw in Outkast who had like I don't know. It depends on who you ask.
yeah.
I would not consider myself a hip hop head because that would be disrespectful to hip hop heads.
Hmm.
But in my like my that was I was there for that.
Yeah.
And again, that's just what I remember. But um this is not that episode.
No, you good.
So, uh Jordan, I know how you feel on this.
Yeah. I mean, Chappelle, I mean, I literally just told you, like, it was such an influential thing for me as a kid. Like, it's crazy. And I literally just clicked on the Chappelle show. That mug got a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I remember even when Chappelle show ended and then Key and Peele tried to come in, I was like, bro, they not going to do what Chappelle show did. I was like, why they even trying? Like, they're not going to
That's
do it.
and they had some funny sketches.
Yeah,
They were good.
some. They had some, yes. I'll
Like
probably
Key,
say a good 70% of theirs was funny,
but that's the thing, like the fact that they were going up after Chappelle is
was rough.
why, yeah, like that's
Yeah.
why it did. Because if Chappelle never happened, but they just happened, like they would have been wildly successful. But
Yeah.
yeah, the mistake they made was coming right behind Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And through no fault of their own, like there was a spot that needed filling. And honestly, I don't know if anybody would have done a better job than they did because
I
they did
No, I
pretty
agree.
good.
No, I
They
agree.
did. They
It's
did.
just they wasn't
But
Chappelle to me.
yeah, nothing will be Chappelle. That's the problem.
I do want to shout out Reno 911.
Oh, that
That
was good
was
too. That was
that
good.
was one of my favorites, bro.
Not
Reno
the same,
911.
not the same, but it was good.
No, not the same level as Chappelle, but I like that show had me crying on a consistent basis. Like consistent basis.
Yeah, and also one of the things we haven't talked about with Chappelle. Remember when they tried to cancel him and he was uncancelable, bro. You can't
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
You can't
can't. They tried
cancel
multiple
Chappelle.
times and you
Yep.
can't do it.
Nope.
yeah. I had problems with that because I was like, Bill Burr is not being canceled, and he's arguably saying the same shit,
Yep.
but it's okay when Bill does it,
Yep.
but it's
Yeah,
not. But I think that that comes with A, being known as the GOAT, and B, the whole black thing.
yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
But just to quickly end it, yeah, even Chappelle's movies, Half Baked, as bad as it was, I still loved it. We had a friend named Samson. We'd be like, I want to talk to Samson. Half Baked. Even when he popped up in Nutty Professor as the little comedian dude, like he was funny no matter where he popped up at. So yeah, Chappelle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like across time, like Killing Them Softly and
Oh, dude, Kill
like
Him Softly
like
was so good.
like the stuff like across the board, like his entire
Been
body of
around for a
stand up
while.
is yeah, like he would skinny Chappelle was funny and thick smoking Chappelle is funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah. Like to the point where Saturday Night Live, they're like, nobody can smoke except Chappelle.
Yeah.
Nobody can say the N word or the P word except Chappelle.
Yeah.
But
And yeah.
all
So
right, we got a lot more bracket.
all right. For the next matchup, we have Monique going up against Cat Williams.
Ooh, controversial.
Yes, both of Shannon Sharp's favorite guests.
Yeah, controversial.
So I think that Monique is an excellent actress.
Hmm.
I don't know that her stand-ups do it for me.
Hmm.
You're not the only one.
She's I think she's more show and movie funny than stand-up funny
Yeah.
because The Parkers was funny.
It was.
And one of my favorite Christmas movies is Almost Christmas. She's great in Almost Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, like I like her. I mean, even in like Soul Plane, like I liked her in Soul Plane.
Don't get
Yeah,
me started on Soul Plane. I used to love Soul Plane.
bro, every
So
day.
yeah,
Telling
that
you.
was that was there was a time when like was that on BET as often as Baby Boy?
We
Damn near.
I was like
Like for
we had the DVD.
Yeah,
yeah,
we
like
had the DVD
there were a
too.
couple
Yeah,
years where like I was like Soul Plane is on again.
yeah.
But anyway, um I like Monique, but I'm gonna have to give this to Cat Williams. Um, Cat Williams to me, like stand up wise, there was a point when he was the guy. He was on top. That green jacket with the jeans,
Bro, was that Pimp Chronicles, I think?
yeah, like that. Whichever one that one was. Um, like I am smoking a regular weed, like that one. Weed
Yeah.
ain't no drug. Drug you got to do. She got to add baking soda. And, yeah, that one. Hilarious.
Yeah, elite.
And again, Cat Williams stand up. He he doesn't have very many stand ups that I'm like, that didn't really like every.
More of his newer stuff for me.
Yeah, like his newer stuff isn't as good as his older stuff, but he's got a body of work that I'm like, yes, I fucks with Cat Williams. As far as comedy goes, I don't know if I can say that same thing for Monique,
Yeah.
uh, but I think that Monique is very talented. And if somebody said, "Hey, Monique wants to do a sitcom," I would greenlight it.
Mm,
But I go with Cat Williams here.
I
But
agree with
I want that to be with no disrespect to Monique.
that. Mm,
Jordan, what do you think?
I mean, again, I don't think Monique is all that funny. I don't think that's too controversial to say. So I'm not gonna spend much time on her. Cat Williams, though, yes. Like that mid no, late 2000s, probably like from
You're like,
2004 to like 2012, like Cat Williams was on fire, bro. All his stuff that he put out was hilarious. Even you know me, I feel like I feel like I'm pretty I don't know. I wouldn't say a street dude, but I got, I understand what's going on. Internet dating is one of those movies. It's like if you know, you know. It's a terrible movie, but it's also a funny hood classic movie. And he got a couple of those that he was in where it was just like fun, like Repos. Repos was funny. He was in that. So it's like I even enjoyed him in his terrible movies. Now Monique is the better actor, but when it comes to being funny, Cat Williams definitely got it.
absolutely.
yeah, I
And I
agree with
even
that.
like when Cat Williams does pimp characters, hilarious. Um, as a pimp named Slickback, hilarious.
Oh yeah, hilarious.
Money Mike
Yeah,
looks like I ain't doing shit. Like,
yeah, yeah.
I am a
First,
boy Damon.
yeah, for freezing first Sunday, another funny one.
First
First,
Sunday.
oh, that was so funny.
Yeah,
He
he was
was
really
really
good
good
at
in
that.
First Sunday.
He was. He was.
Um, so yeah, like Cat Williams, not a lot of misses.
Yeah, yeah. I gotta go, Cat. Monique, great actor. I don't think she's very funny, but great actor.
Okay, okay. For the next matchup, we have Bernie Mac against D.L. Hughley, two of the original kings of comedy. Jordan,
To be honest, I don't know. I gotta quickly look up. Besides the Kings of Comedy, I don't know if I've ever seen another DL Hughley. I feel like I said that weird. DL
you did.
Hughley. Yeah, I was like that came out real weird. I don't know if I've ever seen another DL Hughley um stand up.
Mm.
Does anybody know if he has another stand up?
I've seen a couple of his other ones, especially like newer ones. They're not bad.
Yeah, I was like I never
Yeah, like
seen anything else.
he I mean, he was on like stuff like the Kings of Comedy, so how it's not his show, but he's on it. Like he did a lot of Def Jams like that, but he's got a couple like later specials that he did on Netflix.
Yeah,
Okay. I see. I definitely didn't check him out. So just for that, kind of my lack of knowledge. I mean, I'm going Bernie Mac. I've seen a lot more Bernie Mac.
Like I feel like one of his specials is called Contrarian.
mm.
Yeah, I don't know that one. But yeah, Bernie Mac. Hey, Baz, you got the movies he's in. even his stand was good, but like the movies that he was in, he was good in all those. So another one, rest in peace too. I'm going Bernie Mac.
Okay, Brandon.
Yeah, this is easy. I think this is if we were doing number one seeds, Bernie Mac might get a number one seed. Um, just his resume is top tier. We'll continue to talk about him throughout the tournament, but yeah, it's. I mean, he has the elite stand up work. He's one of the few who has the elite stand up work, and then versatility also top tier. So, Bernie Mac.
Yeah.
I agree. I like DL Hughley in like interviews.
Yeah, he's good in those. Yeah,
I like him. I like him in interviews, and I like him in like rant, like comedy off the cuff type stuff.
yeah,
So like, there was a show that he was on with Jimmy Carr, um, where they had to like him and God, Catherine something, who's also pretty funny. They had to like make arguments on certain topics,
mm,
and it was pretty good. I like D.L. Hughley because he's pretty smart. Like
yeah,
he's a pretty intelligent person,
mm,
and he's one of those people. Like when he makes a point, you're like, oh shit.
yeah.
But he is. I think he loses to Bernie Mac in like all the categories.
Absolutely.
Uh, Bernie Mac was he was too much. Bernie like in the Kings of Comedy, all three of the other Kings of Comedy knew that Bernie Mac was better than them.
Yep.
Like they all knew it.
So you got that last spot.
Yeah, like Bernie Mac's the closer.
Yeah.
Um, so that's what Dave Chappelle's damn stand-up is called, the closer. Um, but anyway, yeah, Bernie Mac, he was too much. Yeah, stand up because his younger stand-ups and when he was older, like all of it,
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yep.
The Bernie Mac show,
Oh,
the top is tier.
Come on,
classic.
America.
Yeah.
Classic.
And that's the thing, like often Bernie Mac was just himself, and that's all he needed to be.
Yep.
Uh Bernie Mac is the reason that Steve Harvey had a man unit made
Sure.
for his little fro.
Sure.
So yeah, Bernie Mac. I like the Hughley, but that was easy. Like
Yeah.
easiest one so far.
Absolutely.
So on the other side of the bracket, we have Eddie Murphy against Chris Rock.
Ooh, this one's a pretty good one too.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is another one. I was like, first round. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, random. Brandon.
Oh, okay. All right. This one is tough because I honestly enjoy Chris Rock's comedy more, stand-ups. Like Chris Rock stand-ups, no matter how young he is, how old he is always hilarious. Because he's one of those, like Spencer talked about, observational comedy. He'll say something and you're like, damn. Like he'll simplify some stuff and you just be like, I never thought of it that way, but that's hilarious. Like I remember one time he talked about how men like I forgot what he said, but like men don't get the same love as everybody else or something like that. And you were just like, damn, like that was poignant, you know what I'm saying? But still in a comedic way. Now the rest of his resume track. Uh he's put out some movies.
It's like you don't like Head of State.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. He got them like cult classics, like bad, but it was funny type movies.
Yeah. I
He got
do like Death at a Funeral.
I do too. I
Definitely
like I
Funeral
like Death
so
at a Funeral.
bad.
Death at a Funeral, and it had so many people in it. And
It
that's the
did
thing.
randoms.
Yeah, I can't call it good, but I like it.
Yeah,
No,
no,
I get
I
it.
liked it too.
I get it. Like it was bad, but good. I forgot what the recent one he put out wasn't too bad. I forgot what it was called.
I know you ain't talking about Grown Ups because
Yeah,
No,
I think
I don't
he
talk
does
about
better
those.
when he's like with
the
Adam
friend,
Sandler and Friends.
Yeah, but it was one where he was
Because like
starring in it.
even like Madagascar, like
Yeah,
he's good in Madagascar.
it was the last one he was starring in. It wasn't terrible. I think it even had David Chappelle in it. But but Eddie, solid stand up, not the best, but elite movie work. It's like one of the greatest crossovers we've ever seen. He did it and it opened up the doors for a lot of other people. Obviously, people before him did it, Richard Pryor, all these other people, but he kind of broke it up into like you can be a mega star in Hollywood as a comedian.
Yeah, like
Uh,
I'd make the argument that he's the top of that.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, to me, I gotta go Eddie Murphy just off the weight of that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, if I look at body of work, it's an easy Eddie Murphy. I do like all of Chris Rock's stand-ups. And yeah, I think that that's his bread and butter. Like that's where he's comfortable. That's where he's like because Chris Rock is like there are a lot of people where like Chris Rock was in the GOAT conversation.
Mm,
And because like and Dave Chappelle has fit like all of the comedians, all the black comedians that have been on top have had to deal with the lower tier black comedians accusing them of pandering to white people.
every one of them.
Like
Yeah,
all yeah, any black comedian that makes it to the top has to deal with fucking what's his name?
Laurent. I know you're talking
Yeah, you
about.
know exactly what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He
You
always
talking
Uh
about
I'm
Lorenzo
talking about
Tate? No.
no.
Big Worm.
Big Worm, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, no, you're talking about
Uh
Phase on
God,
Love.
Faison. That's his.
Faison. Yeah,
I wanted there to be an L in there so
I
bad
know. I don't know why I said Lorenzo, but yeah,
because I was like, it's not Lavelle. I love Lavelle Crawford,
Oh,
but
dude, yeah, me too.
yeah.
yeah, like they got to deal with that nigga um saying, you know, he just here for the white people, and
He not black people funny. He white people funny. Stupid stuff like that.
yeah, and so Chris Rock was like, oh okay, and so he made bigger, blacker, and uncut. That what it's called.
Yeah,
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 Yeah, and yeah, Chris Rock said, oh okay, I got
yeah,
something for you, and
right.
so he's had to deal with that. I feel like Eddie didn't have to deal with that, but I feel like Eddie didn't stay in stand up long enough to deal with that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he was like about to hit that peak, and then he just jumped to Hollywood.
Which, good for you, Eddie.
Oh, 100%.
Like that was the right move.
Get that Hollywood money.
And Eddie Murphy is a good actor.
Bro, Mr. Church.
I
We
know,
gotta keep
I
pushing this
know.
agenda.
Spenser,
We,
bro, you gotta
we
watch
gotta
it.
keep pushing this agenda. But
Okay.
again, yeah, the dude versatility, his impressions, his character, different character work, the ability to be in an action movie, being a straight comedy movie, being a Mr. Church, being a you know what I mean, Coming to America, classic. Like, dude is he honestly nobody's really hanging with his movie resume.
Yeah. So yeah, if I look at body of work, it's easily Eddie Murphy. If we look at just stand-ups, I would give it to Chris Rock. Now,
Same.
there are a lot of people that would say Raw and Delirious are the greatest things that have ever happened, and you know, yeah, and okay,
No.
I
Mm-mm.
you go with that big dog, but
Yeah.
for me, yeah, like I'd rather watch a Chris Rock stand-up than either of those, I think. Like for me, there are a lot of people that
100%.
disagree.
100%. What's
Also,
that?
I would rather watch Norbit than Death at the Funeral.
Okay.
I hate Norbit. I hate
Oh, you
Norbit,
hate
bro.
Norbit, bro? I watched Norbit like a
Bro.
month ago, bro. I was dying.
Now, when we talk about comedies, this is my type of comedy. That is the antithesis of my type of comedy. I hate that movie,
And
bro.
that's like
Bro,
Eddie Murphy, again, because he has so much, like it's one of those things where there are some people where it's like, I like these things and hate everything else.
Yeah.
Because similar to Will Ferrell, with Will Ferrell, you either love Will Ferrell like in
Yeah.
his entirety, or you say, I like Step Brothers and Talladega Nights, and then everything else can. And so there are a lot of people that I feel like are that way with Eddie Murphy. Like they're like, I like Shrek and Doctor Doolittle, and everything else can go. And it's like, okay,
Yeah, that's smoke. You smoke crack. You said
yeah,
that.
bro, just last
Oh,
night I made the Norbit reference. I was talking to my wife. We was talking about something, and it was talking about the scene on Norbit. She was like, "Pregnant? I ain't say I was pregnant." He's like, "But you said you was pregnant. Pregnant? That was just gas." And she's just like, "Far as bro," I was dying laughing.
that's
But again,
stupid,
that's
bro.
that dumb comedy that I like.
Yeah, bro. That's dumb as hell. Now, I will say, what's that one Chris Rock movie where he dies and, um, God, dog, he
Ew.
like,
You're not talking about
he's
the vampire.
no. Chris Rock movie. You're talking about Eddie Murphy movie. I'm talking about Chris Rock
Down to
movie.
Earth.
Down to Earth, bro. Stop, drop, open up, stop. And he had the old white dude singing it, bro. hilarious. I remember going to the movies to see that one. He had a few like random ones that were okay, and that
And
was
then
okay.
again with Chris Rock, I like him as Adam Sandler's friend.
Oh yeah, he's honestly yeah. I think somebody said maybe Jordan said his best work is like down like Grown
Grown-ups.
Ups.
Yeah.
Like he's
Yeah, like
great as a secondary guy.
yeah, give him the black best friend. Longest
Yeah.
Yard.
Yep.
I love him in
Yep.
Longest Yard.
Mm-hmm.
Madagascar. Yeah, like he's a good sassy black friend.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I also have to give him credit for Everybody Hates Chris.
Oh damn. Yeah. Got to give him credit for that.
I mean, he the one who
But
put Tyler James on.
but
Facts.
that doesn't change the fact that I still pick Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, he's still going against a juggernaut.
Yeah. So, Jordan, what do we think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going Eddie as well.
Mm.
And I knew that, but you know. For the next one, we have Tiffany Haddish against Marlon Wayans.
Oh God.
So,
Oh.
for me, this is easy. I'm going with Marlon Wayans.
Wait. Yeah, okay. I was going to ask a stupid question, which Wayans this is, but I know you're talking.
I mean, and that's not a stupid question because like getting Marlon and Sean confused is very easy to do.
I just saw
That's the.
that whole family about to make it to the Hall of Fame. Did y'all see that?
Oh, really?
Yeah, the whole family. They're going
That's
to
dope.
the Comedy Hall of Fame, I believe.
It should have
Good.
been in that thing.
They should
Yeah.
have been in that thing.
Yeah.
No, I'm happy that they gave it to like all of them instead of just like, one or
But
two of
yeah,
them.
I just thought they have enough family
So-
members by now to be
So
in
wait
it.
a minute. Are you saying that the Wayans family is going into the Hall of Fame?
Yes, the Wayans family is going to like
Because
That's dope.
in my
Awesome.
opinion, like Keenan should go, Damon should go, Sean should go. Like I think that they should each go for their own work. Personally,
well, it's like yeah, Keenan, Sean, Marlon, uh Damon, and two
Kim.
more. Kim and one more. But like I saw
Okay.
like the all six of them was like going to the Hall of Fame. And it said family, but you know what I mean.
Okay. I mean, yeah, like they are probably being inducted as the Wayans family, but I think that they should each go like all of them should have their own spot in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Um,
And they got the rights to Scary Movie back from Lee not Lee, Harvey Weinstein. So
Mm.
Marlon the other day announced that they're coming out with a Scary Movie 6, I believe, and it's back to them.
Okay.
Mm.
So I was like, oh, I'm ready for that. 1 and 2 is the best scary movies.
Yeah,
It's true.
easily.
Sure.
And Marlon has a lot of dumb movies,
Oh,
but
countless.
White Chicks is I don't like
Carrying the
that.
load.
That is if that's doing all the lifting, I don't care.
It
White
absolutely is
Chicks
doing all the work.
is so like it's in my top 5 comedies.
Dude,
Period.
we literally referenced it today. We
All
talked
the time.
about the which I want to ask you at the end of the episode if we got time, but about the meteor that's heading towards Earth, and we talked about, oh man, remember on White Chicks? It was like, oh, what happened to the sun? So like we literally referenced that today. Like White Chicks is so good.
It's so good. And White Chicks is better than anything Tiffany Haddish has done.
Bro,
Everything Tiffany Haddish has done.
don't
To
even-
me, Tiffany Haddish isn't funny.
I
again,
agree.
Tiffany Haddish is more annoying than anything. Like, I think that I don't know why they picked her. I know exactly why they picked her, but I don't know why they picked her to be like the black female comedian of the time. Because she's not there. Like, when it comes to her stand-up, when it comes to her interviews, when it comes to her in TV and movies, when it comes to her off the cuff, like she has yet to impress me. Period.
Nice.
is she still canceled or no?
Technically, I think the culture canceled her. I don't think Hollywood canceled her because she still gets stuff, random stuff, and you know how they are. And like Spencer said, they'll shove her down. They'll just Tiffany had everyone has clearly said she is not funny, and they'll still be like Tiffany Haddish. Da, da, da. Like people really care about that. Like no one cares. I'd rather watch Miss Pat do something.
Oh
than-
yeah, I would rather watch Miss Pat as well.
yeah, like
That's the
10
thing.
times over.
I don't know if there's anybody. There are very, very few people I would pick Tiffany Haddish over.
Oh,
Very few.
100%. Very few.
Like I can't
I
think
mean, I'll
of
pick Tiffany over who's the white woman you said earlier? That's
Amy
not funny.
Schumer.
Yeah, over Amy Schumer.
I probably would too.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree.
But I could maybe come up with five people that I'd put like behind Tiffany Haddish, like
Yeah,
across stand-up comedy.
yeah.
But yeah, to me, not funny. Like
Also, are y'all not messing with "Don't Be a Menace"? The one that Marlon did with
Don't
Sean
Be Menaced, South Central, while
while
drinking your
drinking
juice
his
in the
juice in
hood.
it. Y'all wasn't
Yeah,
messing with that.
I mean it was fine, but like
Again, another one of my
r
favorites.
right now he don't need it. Um,
Yeah, I'm not.
because like
Yes.
Marlon is also a pretty good actor. Like when he wants to be, like when
Yeah.
he's not doing comedy, when he's acting, like he's pretty good. But he he does dumb comedy better than a lot of people.
Yeah, Brandon, you like Six Man?
I do like Six Man. I ain't gonna hold you. I do
I
like Six Man.
was like, Six Man was good.
Yeah, it was. But again, I just think, oh, and what's that one? He made another stupid movie in the late '90s where it had to do with like, was it like, damn, it had to do with like him ingesting something and him. I forgot what that
Oh,
movie's called.
Senseless,
Is it Sense?
Senseless. Is that the one he took like that
Senseless.
potion?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, bro. That was stupid as hell, but it was funny. Um, but that's what
I
I mean, bro. Like he
and there are
just,
some that are just like Little Man is not good.
Hey, Little Man
oh,
used to have me die back in the day. I ain't gonna hold
bro.
you.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Dude got countless straight to DVD
Little
type
Man is
movies,
not good. But I don't hate Haunted House.
Oh yeah, Haunted House was funny.
But
bro.
Afion was the funny one in Haunted House to me. But
Yeah,
regardless,
bro.
yeah, Marlon Wayans is like running circles around Tiffany Haddish as far as comedy goes.
Yeah.
I agree.
I
I think
think
we all agree with that.
yeah, I would say my last thing, White Chicks, Scary Movie 1 and 2 are carrying Marlon's career, in my opinion. Like those are his tops in my opinion.
I
I
agree.
agree. I didn't, and Marlon has stuff I didn't hate, but he's also got some stuff that I'm like, I could have done without that.
Are we gonna count Wayans Brothers in his direction? Right.
Yeah, Wayne's
Okay.
Brothers is, yeah. Because
Okay.
that's another
Just
thing.
making
Like,
sure.
I like Wayne's Brothers.
I just want to know if it's on the resume for the next round. Okay.
Yes, it is. It is on his resume.
Okay.
G.I. Joe. Did y'all like him in G.I. Joe?
I fucks with him in GI Joe
Okay. That was like
when
the
he was
most serious
Ripcord.
of yeah, that was like the most serious I've seen him do something. And even then. But
Like,
okay.
I think that he could do action movies if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Okay, for the next one, we have Kevin Hart going up against Cedric the Entertainer.
Yeesh, y'all just trying to throw a lob to destroy these people today. Uh,
This is how the random popped him out. Because some of these matchups, I'm like, oh, we should move things around. Nope, this had a random decided. Jordan,
Yeah. So I'm gonna start out with Kevin Hart. To me, Kevin Hart in the kind of beginning of his career, like his
like oh
stand-ups
eight,
were yes, like his stand-ups were hilarious. And then he got real mainstream, and then they stopped being funny. And then he started getting in more and more movies. And then his character kind of started being kind of the same character over and over. So I definitely got annoyed with Kevin Hart there for a while. Like Laughing My Pain was hilarious. Like that
hmm
was that was good. We talked about Soul Plane. Uh, again, Get Hard with Will Ferrell. That was
Yeah,
my that I enjoyed that.
I like the
Um,
wedding. What's it called?
the wedding ringer.
Wedding. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like him.
yeah.
I like that one.
So like I feel like a lot of him in the beginning was like super funny. Nowadays I get more annoyed at him. I don't think he's like super funny anymore.
Yeah.
Um and then who you say going up against?
Cedric
Cedric
the
the
Entertainer.
Entertainer. Again, Cedric also in the beginning, kind of his beginning of his career, Kings of Hollywood, Kings of Comedy. I think he was funny then. But again, I don't really see him like that anymore. And even his movies, in my opinion, are not that funny anymore. in this situation, I'm gonna probably go with Kevin, but not like by a lot.
Okay.
Hmm.
Brandon?
All right. This is tough, but
No, it's not.
I already know what you're doing. I'm gonna give the counter argument. Now, Kevin, cool. He had a cool little run, right? Cool little run. But he got into the movie space. Couple hitters. Think like a man. Cool. You know what I'm saying? Couple hitters, but he had a lot more misses, right? A lot more misses, and he became annoying, oversaturated, overexposed, right? And to the point to where he was like almost featured in the All Star game for some reason or another recently in the NBA All Star game, and people were just like, "Why is he on this? Like he's so annoying. Stop talking." Blah blah blah. I think Cedric sometimes gets disrespected, but low key has killed it. Look, Kings of Comedy. He had a really good set on Kings of Comedy. That's probably his best set he's ever had. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
Now, am I just looking for Cedric the Entertainer comedies? No, I mean stand-ups. No, I'm not. However, we talk about acting, 10 times better. Barbershop carried the barbershop movies, carried that franchise for the most part, right? Then we
That's
talk
really
about
it.
no, we talk about Steve Harvey show was a huge part of that show. Huge. The Neighborhood, low key. The Neighborhood has been on TV for
Yeah, you
years
said
now.
movies though. His movies is they not all that good.
I mean, Barbershop is really good.
The outside of that,
Uh,
you ain't
uh,
got nothing.
Low key. That one movie wasn't bad. The one with him and Lil Bow Wow.
Johnson Family Vacation?
John Finsbury, bro, a staple in the household. Come on, man.
I don't know. That one wasn't all that good.
Bro,
Maybe that one and Welcome Home Roscoe Jenkins are like the same movie to me.
nah. A little.
And the
I can
cleaner
see
was trash.
the cleaner was trash. I'll give you that. But the neighborhood has been on TV for years now, right? He's transitioned into the sitcom world as he's did before, killing it there. Neighborhood's pretty good. Um, I think again, is he the funniest guy in the world? No, but his resume is pretty good and is comparable to Kevin Hart's because Kevin Hart had some higher highs, but he went down fast. You know what I'm saying? So I'm I'm gonna go Kevin Hart, but I just don't want. I know Spencer's gonna purely disrespect Cedric the Entertainer, so I just want to defend that man's honor for real quick.
What makes you think I'm going to do that?
I've heard you make this feel 94 times and saying how he is not funny whatsoever and da 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 and he's trash. Basically.
All right, so let's do that. Here's the thing. I will give Cedric the Entertainer Barbershop. Everything else, he's literally just in.
Yeah.
He is not funny. He is the least funny person in everything I've ever seen him in. That man is not funny at all. His name is Cedric the Entertainer. Nigga, you have entertained no one.
Oh my god.
I'm not mad at Spencer's take.
This man is not funny. Again, I will give him Barbershop. That's fine. But yes, he was in the Steve Harvey show. Yes, he was in what was that show? Soul Man with him and Niecy Nash.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he is in the neighborhood. I'm not there for him at all.
Who are you there for?
I'm there for all of the people that are actually funny. I'm there for Schmidt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm there for Gemma. I'm there for his sons.
Yeah.
I'm there for Niecy Nash. I'm there for old girl that calls him Seti.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Cedric the Entertainer isn't funny. And I find it disrespectful that you call yourself the entertainer. That's in your name. How dare you? You are doing no such thing, sir.
We ain't never getting Cedric on this show, huh?
Never.
Never.
Boo this man. This man is not funny. And he's not the only person I have this opinion about. Because Cedric the Entertainer is one of those people I was like, how the fuck is he famous for comedy?
He's getting carried by
And
the
it's
other
like,
Kings of Comedy.
yeah, he got friends. That's how. Nepotism. And good for him. ride the wave, keep it going. Be successful and do that, but don't call yourself a comedian. You were not funny. Kevin Hart, once upon a time, was hilarious. Now, Kevin Hart, the thing that Faison Love talks about, Kevin Hart did that. Kevin Hart
Yeah.
absolutely decided to be more marketable to a larger audience.
Worked
Yeah.
out for him. Worked out for him too.
Yes, he's
It
very
did.
successful. And I believe that yes, when it comes to stand-up comedy, there was a hard drop off with Kevin Hart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like his first three, Grown Little Man, whichever the second one was, Laugh at My like those were funny. But the
Yeah.
point, like the one where he was like the fire, the one with
Oh,
the
that
fire in
last
it.
one. I think the one that
Yeah.
during COVID. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
the COVID one was the one he did in his house.
Oh,
Oh,
I thought
that's
that was
right.
when you were talking about the one he was by the fireplace.
No, the one where
Oh,
like
he
he
was like,
had
get
fire on
fired.
the
Oh,
yeah,
he was like, get fired on
like
these bitches. Yeah.
yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, all right, we're done. You're done.
Yeah.
Um, he is not movie funny at all. I do like Soul Plane, but that was
Yeah.
before anybody knew who he was.
True.
But yeah, like I can't think he's another person where like in movies, I'm not there for him. There may be funny people around him, but he is at no point the funniest person in the room with the movies he's in. Like I can't think of a Kevin Hart movie where I'm like, yes, I'm here for Kevin Hart. Now, I re-
Fatherhood,
and that's the thing. When Kevin Hart isn't being funny, he's pretty good.
bro. I cried so hard at that movie.
Yeah.
Like he's not a bad actor.
No, he's not.
Whenever because I just watched the Fight Night. I think that's what that show was called, but it's on Peacock. It's got him and Samuel L. Jackson. It's when Muhammad Ali came to Atlanta, and
Oh, yeah.
yeah, like that show. Like he's pretty good in that show.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also I wanted to say, Brandon, that that's a show where I'm because we've had the discussion of like has Samuel L. Jackson lost it?
Mm-hmm.
In no, because in that show, my man was acting,
Okay.
so he still got it.
Okay.
But yeah, I have been able to say in my time on this earth that I liked Kevin Hart and that Kevin Hart was funny. I can't do that with Cedric the Entertainer.
I agree with that.
So this was the easiest one on the board for me.
Mm-hmm.
However, I will say on the record, I would pick Cedric over Tiffany Haddish.
I would too. And I want to say too, last thing for me for Kevin Hart, I got super annoyed with him and The Rock. Every movie they did, I was like, oh my, these dudes are back together.
Yeah.
They are better in interviews. Like in
Yes.
interviews, they're hilarious.
I feel like that's Kevin Hart in general, though. Kevin Hart in the interviews and stuff. When he did that streaming with Kai Cenat, hilarious. Him and
Yeah, like
Drewski,
him
Yeah.
that
off
was
the cuff.
hilarious.
His
Yeah.
off the cuff game is nice.
Yeah. It was hilarious. But again,
Even like when he interviewed Don Cheadle, like that was funny.
damn.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, so like he's like he doesn't need a script,
Yeah.
but yeah, like he just like he's one of those people. Yeah, like you could just get him in a room, and he's
Mhm.
probably one of the funnier people in that room.
Right. 100%.
But yeah, like he's not movie funny,
Mm-mm.
but he's again, I'd book him in certain movie roles, but comedy's not your job today.
Yeah.
So, okay. For the last matchup in round one, we have Mike Epps up with Martin Lawrence. Brandon.
I'll make it quick, fellas. Martin is, to me, potentially the GOAT. He's up there in the GOAT conversation. Now, is he the GOAT? I don't know. Stand-up is a little weaker. However, Hollywood is not close. Like,
At all.
at all. Like my favorite Martin movie is one of his most underrated, Nothing to Lose. I love that movie. Like National Security, like just countless bangers. Not even gonna bring up Bad Boys franchise.
Yeah, we're not even there yet.
We're not even
Yep.
gonna bring that up.
But
We're
like,
just gonna like him on a solo mission. Banger. Big
I
Mama's house.
love Big Mama's house.
Big Mama's house.
I love
Bro,
Big Mama's house.
Roscoe Jenkins. Bangers. Like my dude just put out bangers on a consistent basis. So yeah, Martin all day.
I mean, even like a thin line between love and hate.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, I was not prepared for Linwood Field in that movie.
Yeah. Same. It was wild.
But yeah. Yeah. For me, it's easy. It's Martin Lawrence. Mike Epps has made me laugh, but Mike Epps isn't just hilarious to me.
It's Mike Epps is hood funny, which can catch me on some days. On some days, I'm like, I'm straight.
That's not,
Really.
he has made me laugh. But yeah, like I don't know that I'm picking Mike Epps.
Same.
Like in this bracket, he doesn't do great. Like there are a lot of people to whom he would lose in the first round.
Yeah.
That's not to say that I don't like Mike Epps, but Mike Epps is not on the higher end for me.
I will say that Uncle Buck show, solid, was actually funny.
Okay.
Like it got canceled really early, but it was funny. I remember watching it like, oh wow. And then what show you had on Netflix? The sitcom
Upshaw.
Upshaw. Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah.
He's actually a better actor than you would think he would be. But he was kind of playing himself, but still.
I learned that in Survivor's Remorse. Like
Oh,
in
yeah.
Survivor's Remorse, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
okay, Uncle Julius. Now, you're not a bad actor.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this was a pretty easy Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
So yeah. Jordan, what do you think?
I used to really like Mike Epps. Again, because Brandon mentioned kind of that hood funny, so that was kind of I liked that comedy. Underrated, never faded, hilarious to me. But as time kind of started, All About the Benjamins was
Oh yeah,
funny.
classic. Yeah.
But again, as time started to go on, Mike Epps, maybe I grew up a little bit, but like Mike Epps kind of stopped being funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like I used to be able to quote that Never Rated and Underfaded. Like I used to be able to quote that Next Friday, Friday after next. Like those are all good movies.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, we're talking about Martin.
Right.
It's Martin. Like
Yeah.
I feel like there's nothing else to talk about. It's Martin.
When you look at the resume, it's
Yeah,
tough.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's Martin.
Okay. We have entered round 2. So for the first matchup, we have Dave Chappelle against Steve Harvey. Now, I don't need to spend a lot of time on it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with Dave Chappelle here.
Agreed.
Steve Harvey is just not in that class.
Yeah, it's
Sorry,
Dave Chappelle. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I don't we're good.
Yep.
yeah.
We're good.
Okay. For the next one, we have Cat Williams up against Bernie Mac.
Ooh.
Jordan.
This is actually tough. I feel like
Yeah.
I got to spend a lot more time with Cat Williams.
That is probably accurate.
Um, I'm sticking by my guns. I'm going Cat Williams. I think Cat Williams, personally, to me, is more my comedy style versus Bernie Mac. So I'm going Cat.
Okay. Brandon.
Yeah. My family would disown me if I didn't say Bernie Mac. Like that is my family's favorite comedian. Yeah, he's just everything he did was good. Like every time he showed up, he was on point. Like, yeah, I gotta go, Bernie.
Okay. A tie to break for me. Well. Um Again, there was a point when Cat Williams was on top,
Mm-hmm.
but body of work, I go Bernie Mac.
Thank you. Thank you.
And it wasn't easy. Like Cat Williams didn't get stomped out by any means, but yeah, when I look at the body of work, I got to go with Bernie Mac because Cat Williams, I would say stand up wise, Cat Williams is elite, but Bernie Mac is too.
Yeah.
Movie wise, like Bernie Mac's appearances, elite.
Yep.
Sitcom, excellent.
Yep.
And yeah, like even when people tell stories about Bernie Mac,
Hilarious.
yeah. So I'm going with Bernie Mac. I will say that again, when it comes to pure stand-up, Cat Williams is on the higher end, but yeah, I gotta go Bernie here. We have Eddie Murphy against Marlon Wayans. Brandon.
We already
uh
know where Brandon going.
We do.
this is Eddie got a clean. My boy Eddie got an easy one in a second. Yeah, you know what it is.
Yeah. I have to agree. Again, White Chicks, one of my top ever comedies, but you know, Eddie's got too his resume's too deep.
Too deep.
Too many items on there. Too much talent in the room.
Yep.
So yeah. I gotta go Eddie Murphy. Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I like Marlon, I feel like you kind of have to go Eddie. Eddie's definitely funnier, but I still like the dumb humor of Marlon.
But
Okay.
Eddie can give you that too.
Yeah, he can give you real dumb.
Yeah, real though.
Yeah, like could Marlon do everything Eddie does? No. Could Eddie do everything Marlon does? Probably.
Absolutely. Yeah. Nutty Professor. Nutty Professor like walks, so white chicks could run. Like white chicks, a lot of the stuff they was doing, dressing up as women, like Eddie been doing that.
Yep. And in the last matchup in this round went so quick. Uh, we have Kevin Hart and Martin Lawrence.
Sheesh.
Now, um, it's Martin
Yeah.
for me. Again, Kevin Hart had a high, but when I look at the body of work, I got to go with Martin Lawrence, like pretty handily. If Kevin Hart didn't have like the comedic fall off that he had, it might be a different conversation. But I don't think that Martin Lawrence has the same low that Kevin Hart does.
Yeah.
And if I look at their like list of movies, like I'm picking Martin Lawrence more times.
Bro, even his bad movies are good. What's the movie with the Knight? Black
Oh,
Knight?
Black Knight.
Yeah.
Bro, still hilarious. Like, still hilarious. Like the movie, the little Disney basketball movie he did,
Oh,
hilarious.
Rebound?
Rebound.
Yeah,
Rebound? Yeah.
yeah, hilarious, bro. Like, I've been watching that on Disney Channel. Like, um, yeah, it's definitely Martin. Martin just like again, like dudes had the highest of dude. Martin has had higher highs than Kevin. Now, Kevin had a really high with the stand up stuff, but like he hasn't had anything close to Bad Boys, anything really close to any of Martin's movies as far as success is concerned. Now he has had some box office wins, but we all know how that works. Like him
Yeah,
when you put Rock in something, like you know, during that time you were gonna rack up a bunch of money.
yeah, like Jumanji, okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, exactly.
Central Intelligence, all right.
Yeah, like yeah. Like national security waxes both of those.
Okay. All right. Jordan?
Yeah, I mean, I would say Kevin's high is probably shoot, let me look. I was like, I probably would say his high is more, but
Mm-mm.
probably no, I'm looking at everything. Probably not now.
Because I would honestly, Martin's high might be when Martin was on TV.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't even consider in TV. I was thinking movies, Bad Boys probably out earned every single one
Yep.
of these movies if you don't account for inflation or anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, like
ah,
the show Martin, like it has still today has people in a chokehold.
oh yeah,
Absolutely.
Kevin Hart doesn't have that show like
Exactly.
Kevin Hart doesn't
yeah.
have anything that is doing that.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, Kevin Hart has a for sure movie like that's I feel like that's kind of his movie, but he doesn't have a show.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
hasn't been in the game as long as Martin. That's
Right.
true. But again, like when I look at the body of work And even if I were to say, okay, here are all of Kevin's items, we're gonna compare a Martin item to them.
Yeah.
Like, Martin still,
I would say probably the movie that made the most money. If it wasn't Jumanji, it would probably be maybe Secret Life of Pets. The first one ain't he on the first one?
he's in both of them, I think.
Both of them, yeah. And that
And
And
yeah,
tell you, he
like,
wasn't even like the lead person in that though.
and Secret Life of Pets is not great.
there wasn't. It really isn't.
I fell asleep.
Bro, I remember watching that like, oh, this ain't Zootopia. I'm getting up out of here.
That was the problem. That
Yeah.
was the mistake they made.
Yeah.
Y'all, you should have separated yourself as far as time goes from Zootopia. That was a grave mistake.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they. I don't know how they got a second one. I don't know how they got a Secret Life of Pets too.
Yeah. Same.
Oh yeah, I was right. Jumanji is his highest grossing, and Secret Life of Pets is his second.
Yeah, he
That's
probably
crazy.
feels like he should have won an Oscar for Jumanji.
Yeah, it was
But
kind of trash. But yeah, I'm going with
Jack
Martin.
Black did the heavy lifting in Jumanji.
He did.
Again, I'm not even huge on Jack Black like that.
Yeah, I mean, The Rock did pretty good, but like, Jack Black was the reason that movie did well, probably. And Karen was in shorts
Hey, I don't even know
Facts.
how that movie got
Ooh.
a second one.
Yeah.
because it had The Rock and Kevin Hart. Like, that's a draw.
Yeah. Facts. Especially during that time. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's when they were hot.
Yeah.
So we have the semis, and there may be some discussion on both sides. We're going to see what happens. For the first matchup, we have Dave Chappelle against Bernie Mac. Jordan.
Chappelle Show. Chappelle Show. Ooh, better not bring your kids. I'm going Chappelle.
I knew that's what was going to
The
happen.
most influential person show in my life ever.
That checks out so much.
Not surprised one bit.
Ever.
One bit. Like, that checks out so much.
Brandon.
Oh, this is tough. I okay. Okay. So comedy, both elite, right? I believe during a certain time, Bernie was considered the best in the game, especially during that whole Kings of Comedy time, right? Now, we know movie success, it's not even close, right? Television success, low key, Bernie is up there with him. Now, I agree that Chappelle Show had more of an influence, but I would argue that it's a lot easier to have an influence on a sketch show than it is on a sitcom where you are going up against the 100 other sitcoms out there. I just think that Bernie, I'm voting for Bernie here. I'm voting with my heart. I gotta go Bernie Mac, man. Chicago, stand up.
They'll just have me breaking all the ties.
Yeah, I'll say you get to break all the ties, huh?
Yeah.
It's like that sometimes. Um, okay. This is definitely a strong matchup,
Mm-hmm.
but I would have to go, and I'm gonna be honest. I think Bernie is hurt by the fact that he's dead because we Bernie did a lot of excellent things while he was alive, but I think the fact that he hasn't been able to do any more is the reason that I have to go with Chappelle here. Not because he wasn't able to do more, but because like we don't like if he was still active, if he was still alive and doing things, then he may have a body of work that I feel like could be better than Chappelle's. But Chappelle's body of work is funnier to me.
What?
And yeah, as far as movies, it is not a contest. Like there's no contest. Movie wise, Bernie blows him out the water when it comes to movies.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but when I look at the stand-ups that Chappelle has, and when I look at the Chappelle show, I that hits me harder than Bernie's body of work.
Mm.
And yeah, as far as influence, there's no question. Like cultural impact. Well, actually, there is a question because Bernie Mac is pretty influential.
Yeah,
Um, as far as cultural impact, though, I would say Dave Chappelle is one of the highest across the board.
yeah,
Um, and I would like to see what Bernie would like. You know, when Dave Chappelle was in Africa on his
yeah.
hiatus, like I
Hmm.
would love to see what Bernie would have done during that time.
Yeah, that's true.
Stanley, bro. Chappelle Show. There's so many great episodes, bro. The Clayton Bixby where he plays the black KKK member.
That's so good.
The dude
It's
head
so
explodes at
good.
the end. Like, come
Yeah.
on,
Yeah,
bro.
Like honestly, the Charlie Murphy, anytime Charlie Murphy was on,
Oh man, come on, man.
anytime Charlie
yeah,
Murphy was on, I was here for it.
Come
yeah.
on, man. They did the real world,
Oh
bro.
yeah, that was crazy.
That episodes, dude, there's so many great episodes.
Yeah,
I use the term delegation. Like that's what that's how I refer to a group of black people.
yeah.
The black delegation.
That's what I'm telling you, man. I probably need to go ahead and do a rewatch Chappelle Show, bro. It's been probably 5 years since I did a rewatch.
Hmm.
And bro, there's
Gonna
so many good episodes.
The Chappelle Show is why I started listening to Rick James and Prince
Yeah,
Rick
because
James, bitch.
I was I was a teenager and so I had heard songs from him but I was unfamiliar.
yeah,
And yeah, like that's Dave Chappelle is the reason I was like, let me actually listen to Rick James and
yeah,
let me actually listen to Prince. And I'm like, oh yeah, these men were too much.
yeah. That was cooking.
So yeah, I
Come on, man.
I don't I don't like it because Bernie Mac, he's again like there aren't really any misses with Bernie Mac.
Tyrone Biggums. Come on, bro. I remember the episode. He picked up that car. The lady was trapped in the car. He literally picked the car up because he was high on drugs to get that quarter. Bro, come on, man. Even when he did the white news anchor.
Oh yeah,
Come
Yeah,
on, man.
yeah,
like
bro.
yeah, Dave Chappelle. And again, like young Dave Chappelle doing all the skits, and old man Dave Chappelle who just needs a mic and a cigarette.
Yeah,
Every time he joins SNL, like his skits be funny on
yeah. They do.
SNL.
They really do.
Yeah, like I again, I don't know if Bernie has any misses, but Dave Chappelle's highs are too high, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I get it.
So yeah. And in the other half of the bracket, we have Life. We have Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence.
Two of my favorites. Damn.
And Brandon, it's on you.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Life is literally top two favorite movie of all time. Oh man,
It's a good thing they're both in it.
golly. Okay, so this is interesting because neither I would say Eddie's stand up is probably a little better to me. I think he has more memorable ones. I don't know if his necessarily style. I didn't love either one of them. Raw or Delirious, I didn't love them. So I'm gonna say it's a slight advantage in Eddie's favor.
And I think that like I know that Martin does have a special, but like I feel like a lot of Martin's stand-up success was from hosting Def Comedy
Def
Jam.
Jam, yeah, yeah, which he did well. He's one of the greatest hosts they ever had.
Well, yeah,
But
like and that's what I'm saying. Like I think
yeah,
because yeah, like the host always gets a few minutes at the beginning.
yeah, yeah.
And so
Yeah, I just okay. Movie wise, peak peak movies, Bad Boys, you know. But then, damn, Eddie had Beverly Hills Cop, 48 Hours, Life Coming to America. God, dog. I gotta. But then, see, the thing about Eddie killed it. He had Harlem Nights too, but Martin kind of crossed over. He was hitting on the hood, like the hood loved the hood rock with Martin. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Eddie, as we talked about before, he kind of crossed over really quickly to the white people. As far as like white people loved him mainstream wise, so some people didn't like that. But he's damn. I would probably have to go. This hurts my heart. I want to go Eddie.
Okay.
Eddie got dated there too. We watched my kids like that movie too, which is crazy. I didn't think they would.
Daddy, which one?
Daddy Daycare, they like
Oh,
that movie
fire,
too.
fire. Yeah, man, underrated.
I think that, of course, Martin Lawrence is in my favorite movie, Bad Boys 2.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, that goes without saying. I've said it enough. Um, but when I look at body of work and when I look at influence on not only like the culture, but when I look at it, influence on comedy,
Mm-hmm.
I have to go Eddie Murphy.
Same.
I don't know if anyone, and an argument could be made, but like Eddie Murphy might have the largest influence on American comedy today.
Yeah.
And of course, an argument could be made that, he was influenced by dot dot dot. But
Right,
I I would make an argument that most comedians want the Eddie blueprint.
bro. He was on SNL at like 18, something
Yeah,
stupid.
he was maybe 20 or something. Like
Yeah,
it was yeah.
it was
Like
dumb. Like,
I think that Eddie is what most comedians like that. Again, he's the blueprint for a lot of comedians. Like if they follow the Eddie track, then they would consider themselves highly successful.
he had a number 1 song in the 80s.
Yeah.
My man's
And
resume is
just because
crazy.
like it was a joke.
Yeah, it was a
He was
joke
just
and
playing.
a low key bop, low key
Yeah.
hits.
He was just
Yeah,
playing, but like, yeah, I was like, oh,
yeah,
it's not bad.
yeah.
So I, of course, love Martin Lawrence. And he's in my favorite movie franchise.
Yeah.
But I have to go with Eddie here.
And Brendan, who'd you go with?
Eddie.
Gosh, okay. I mean, on this one, I was going to be against the grain. I mean, I was going to Martin here. I think Martin, to me personally, is a lot more funny. Like you said, probably because Martin started to appeal to more of the kind of hood things, and I enjoy some good hood rat activities. Or the old me did. I don't like hood rat activities no more.
Oh, okay.
Uh, but
Yeah.
yeah, I would go. I would go Martin.
Okay. Okay. I would say not an easy matchup though.
Yeah, no.
But all right. We have the finals. We have Dave Chappelle against Eddie Murphy, which we probably knew this is how this was going to go, depending
Yeah,
on who was on each side of the bracket.
right. They was gonna meet eventually.
Yeah. So I am gonna have to go with Dave Chappelle in this matchup.
Mm.
Now, um, to me, Dave Chappelle is funnier, and Dave Chappelle is probably next as far as influence on comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Like influence on American comedy across the board. And of course, there are probably some people that, somebody's yelling that we're not talking about, but whatever. For me, I a case could be made that Eddie Murphy and Dave Chappelle are 1 and 2 as far as like influence on American comedy.
Yeah.
But when I look at Dave Chappelle's resume, honestly, there aren't a whole lot of individual items on there, but the stuff he has is the highest. Like when we look at the Chappelle show, for me personally, it's for me personally. You may disagree. I don't know that Eddie has anything that I put above the Chappelle show. for me.
Mm. Yeah, right. Okay.
Again, that's just me.
Yeah.
When it comes to stand up, I'd go with Chappelle also. But movies, yeah, Dave Chappelle has n nothing in the conversation as far as movies go.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I go Chappelle here. To me, Chappelle is funnier to me. Jordan.
I mean, I'm gonna just say one of these people is uncancelable. I'm just looking at some of his jokes. The jokes where you remember he got count well, they tried to cancel him for like the whole transgender stuff. And I see one of his things said he said he's talking about the whole transgender thing. He said, I'm not saying it's a pussy. He said, but that's like saying it's beyond pussy or impossible pussy. It's like it looked like the real thing. But it's not. I was like, I'm just bro, Dave Chappelle is to me my number one favorite comedian of all time. Like there's literally nothing he can do that, I'm like, oh, I don't agree with that. Like he bro, he's just that dude, man. Like he's the GOAT. He is my GOAT.
Hmm.
So sorry, Brandon. Your guy made it this far.
My God. Um, yeah, I mean, I was gonna go Eddie here. I just believe he has higher highs, if I'm being honest.
Higher highs than Dave
Higher high.
Chappelle.
I think he
I'm
has
not mad
higher
at that.
highs.
With Eddie
Yes.
Murphy, I'm not mad at that.
Coming to America was a absolute smash. Beverly Hills, absolute smash. 48 Hours, absolute smash. Life, absolute smash. And then he has minor,
Yeah,
this
like
minor.
even like Nutty Professor did really well. Doctor
Yes,
Doolittle did really
Dr.
well.
Doolittle. Yeah,
Like
like
he's got a resume. Like again, Shrek.
Shrek. We didn't even bring up Shrek, one of the biggest
Yeah, but
animated franchises ever. Like, look, his highs are bigger. Now, to me, it's all about whatever your preference is. If you want your guy to be a little more risque, you know what I mean? And if you prefer, I prefer movies over stand up. So I'm going to put a little more, I'm going to lean more towards that effect. So, and I think, and again, he has two very legendary stand-ups. I don't necessarily give him the highest credit because I don't think they're the greatest, but he does have that in his resume. And like Spencer said, his influence is top tier. And my boy was the LeBron James of comedy. My boy early on got SNL early, like early. Like they barely hired black people in general, let alone a young black kid. You know what I'm saying? And then just to go on and do all this great stuff. Yeah, I gotta go Eddie.
that's fair. But also, I will say, I feel like Chappelle never wanted to be like a movie star. Because even if you look at the movies he's been in, only thing he's ever been like the main character in was really half baked. Like other than that, like he was always the side character for something, or he just
Mm.
appeared in the movie.
Some people say you just ain't good enough to be the number one movie star type of guy, and that's
No,
okay.
I think that this was more of a The Rock Triple H situation. Like The Rock wanted to go to Hollywood. That was his goal from the beginning, and this was a way to get there. But Triple H had the opportunity to do that and didn't like that wasn't for him. That wasn't what he wanted. He wanted to stay in the business. And I
Uh,
think that similarly, Eddie wanted to go big Hollywood and he was very successful there. But Dave Chappelle, that's not what he wanted.
like he picks and chooses when he wants to kind of appear in a
Mm.
movie.
He really put his effort there. I just think honestly, I mean, no pause, but you know, Eddie's a more handsome guy, so he automatically got the romantic roles. He got the what's that
Oh,
Yeah,
one?
well, Dave made
Vampire in
Vampire.
that.
Brooklyn and
Well, Dave
Yeah,
made that joke the other day.
yeah, okay, yeah, he did. He got that one. What's that one dating movie? Black dating movie in the '90s with Eddie Murphy. Boomerang. Yeah, like stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's opportunities just you wouldn't get. if you're
Yeah,
not.
Dave made the joke when he was like, everybody getting invited to the freak offs, and he was like, no, nobody invited me. And then and then he's like, oh, this dude got invited, and then he realized I'm ugly. So it's like he knows it.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
And yes, that is true.
right,
Eddie Murphy, a lot more handsome than Dave Chappelle.
yeah.
And yeah, Dave Chappelle, those opportunities may not have been finding their way to him.
Hmm.
But either Dave Chappelle made a way.
Yeah, he definitely
He
had
made
a
his own
big.
success.
Yep.
I'm looking
So,
forward to whatever the next thing
and
Dave puts out.
here's what I will say. Eddie Murphy is more talented than Dave Chappelle, but Dave Chappelle is funnier than Eddie Murphy to me.
Yep.
I Okay, yeah. Naturally, I can see that. I can see that.
Like Eddie can do a lot more versatile, a lot more in his bag. But like straight up funny, Dave Chappelle.
And that's the
Uh,
thing. I just don't know because Dave don't do interviews, so it's kind of hard to be like. Obviously,
Dave is like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan ain't really out here talking to the public that much, is he?
true, but
Meanwhile, you hear LeBron
oh,
talking
here we
all the
go.
time, right? You called him LeBron a while ago,
I'm just saying, like he is, but I'm saying,
and
I
Dave is like
mean,
Mike.
nah.
and I think that LeBron is better than Michael Jordan,
Thank you.
See, some
but that's
people
just
say
me.
that's
And
just him.
So
and
you,
Go
cucumber
ahead and
tastes
say it,
better pickle.
Brandon.
That's a
Go ahead and say
Chappelle reference.
nigga, I was about to fight
that's
you through this.
there
I was
goes
about to punch you through this Zoom call if you said that.
there you go. Some people say
Like
cucumber tastes better pickle.
there's
Huh?
the
Bro,
Chappelle reference from every episode.
I'm telling you,
golly,
that show is the most influential show in my life. It's probably that and like SpongeBob, bro. Like
bro,
I
that
quote
wild,
checks out.
SpongeBob pretty regularly.
wildly different, and they still
No,
live rent free in my head.
they're both pivotal.
That checks out.
Rent
Uh,
free.
so I'm gonna do a quick review of the bracket just so the people know exactly what happened. In the first round, we had Patrice O'Neill and Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey won that. We had Dave Chappelle and Jamie Foxx. Dave Chappelle won that. We had Monique and Cat Williams. Cat Williams won that. We had Bernie Mac and D.L. Hughley. Bernie Mac won that. On the other side of the bracket, we had Eddie Murphy and Chris Rock. Eddie Murphy. We had Tiffany Haddish and Marlon Wayans. Marlon Wayans. We had Kevin Hart and Cedric the Entertainer. Kevin Hart. We had Mike Epps and Martin Lawrence. Martin Lawrence. In the next round, we had Steve Harvey versus Dave Chappelle, and Dave Chappelle won that. We had Cat Williams versus Bernie Mac, and Bernie Mac won that. We had Eddie Murphy versus Marlon Wayans, and Eddie Murphy won that. And then we had Kevin Hart and Martin Lawrence, and Martin Lawrence won that matchup. In the semis, we had Dave Chappelle and Bernie Mac, and Dave Chappelle scooched by. And then we had Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, and Eddie Murphy scooched by. And then in the end, in the finals, we had Dave Chappelle and Eddie Murphy. And on this episode of the podcast, Dave Chappelle was the winner because
Mm-hmm.
if we had had guests, this could have run very differently.
That's true.
If the matchups were different, this could have run differently.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx might have made it further.
He would have made it further because
Yeah.
there are a couple people that probably shouldn't have got out of round one, but they had a really easy matchup.
Yeah.
Like
True.
for me, Marlon doesn't have a resume to get out of round one. Like he
Agreed.
has white chicks,
Mm-hmm.
and you could make an argument for Scary Movie.
Yeah.
But like, nah.
If
Oh, good.
I was gonna say if we do this again, who would y'all want to see? Because I mean, I definitely want to see Lavelle Crawford on here. Uh,
Mm.
who else would y'all want to see?
Probably include Eddie Griffin.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the big? What is his name? He always get in trouble. He always got he be having a bunch of baby mamas, and he kind of big, and he always saying something controversial too.
Sure.
Uh,
I gotta think of his name.
I would want Ari Spears on here.
yeah.
We'd I think that slowly start creeping into more of the niche hood comedians,
Yeah, I think that
which
too.
wouldn't be a problem because
Right.
them niggas is
Oh,
funny.
Bruce Bruce could have been on there. I would love to see Bruce Bruce.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of my Bruce is because he hosted Comic View. Like
Same. That's yeah.
that's where I really know him from. And then there are some people that I feel like I didn't even know they did stand up until later, like D. Ray Davis. I didn't know D. Ray Davis did stand up. Like I think the first time I saw him was Wild and Out,
Yeah.
and then I saw him on like other stuff here and there. But
Bro,
then he had a stand up. I was like, oh, you're a comedian. Oh, okay.
what's the one dude that was in Blackish? He's hilarious. His stand-ups are hilarious. He
Dion Cole.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Dion Cole is funny. Dion Cole is one of those people. I would always see him do like a random 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then he was in Blackish. He did Old Spice commercials. Like I just see
Yeah.
him like, but yeah, Dion Cole, yeah, his stand-up is so funny.
So funny. He does it like a different perspective. Like he's like, I'm gonna tell y'all a joke. And he
Yeah,
reads off a joke.
it's so
Yeah.
funny. He's like, I got some jokes for y'all.
Yeah.
It pulls out a notepad like fucking Steve from Blue's Clues.
Right. Hilarious.
Yeah. So yeah, there are quite a few people that
Yeah.
I had Wanda Sykes in the original one, and then we decided,
Yeah.
how about you, Wanda?
Yeah.
But
Man, I'm really still looking for a dude also. I cannot remember his name right now.
We need to do some other
and then we would also need to decide if we want to include people that like don't necessarily have a stand-up but are known for comedy.
mm,
Like we may need to decide if we're gonna do that. But
yeah.
yeah.
I like it.
But yeah, there are plenty of comedians that we could go to. Tommy Davidson.
Yeah.
Or like
Mhm.
David Allen Greer is an example of like, I don't know if he has stand-ups, but he's known for comedy.
Bro.
Damon Wayans. I don't know if Damon Wayans has a stand-up, but comedy is his life.
Yeah. Alan Greer, like anytime, no matter what he's on, I am crying laughing.
David
It don't
Allen Greer
matter.
is really funny.
Bro, he could be on one episode of a sitcom and he'll break whoever's on the set with him. He'll make them laugh, and I'll be crying laughing. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Another part, like again, Damon Wayans, like you can't have him because
Yeah.
he's breaking everybody.
yeah. Everybody need to be on there. The wife, kids, yeah.
So yeah, like this is there are way too many comedians to like if y'all want another bracket and if you want us to have like other people on to, help with that. Jordan told you all the places you can let us know.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And with that, we're never duplicated.
Always appreciated.
And forever melanated.